be right back. We gon' be right here. We gon' be right here. You know where you're at. The USA got you taking a slightly. So taking a slightly. Now how you blow at? We gon' be right back. We gon' be right here. We gon' be right here. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome to DC. DC, the home of Chuck Brown. Oh, you don't know the sound? Well, let me break it down. The G.O., the M.A. and P.O. C.O. We've been pumping crank since an embryo, really though. It's the city where the people hold the power. And you can see 9 dimes every half an hour. Well, Lunch and Joe is the lingo. And brothers rock, so ain't nobody rocking me coats. Take it back to the madness. So how the city renamed Cigarette Shack. So how even the mayor had a run of a crack. But we all kept it real and we voted them back. But we got no stars that spit on bars like BET, Ruttin' Berkeley, now backyard. So our energy, our essence, and now backyard. And junkyard got us all going hard. You know we got the USA got you taking us slightly, so taking us slightly. Now how you?
Yeah. Had a nice, exciting weekend of boxing this past weekend. Had a couple of good fights. Had some not so good fights, but yeah, so let's get into it. I'm gonna put the link in the chat like always. You want to come up here and comment on what you saw this weekend? By all means, do so. Um, what's going on, Conor Loco? Yeah. I mean, you saw your boy Chris Colbert fight this past weekend, and the man was doing a lot of talking before he had his fight, talking about he was going to send Mr. Gary Russell send him into retirement. After this fight, he was talking about he had the belt already at home. He's already the champion or whatever. He was fighting a guy on a short notice. He was a replacement fighter, and me scoring the fight. I mean, I gave Colbert 1 round, and that was just being giving him a mercy round. But the replacement fighter, Hector Garcia, man, he whooped he whooped Colbert from round 1 all the way to round 12. I mean, it wasn't even close. And then he sat the man down in the 7th round. I believe that was the first time Chris Colbert has ever been dropped. He sat the man down in the 7th round. By the time he sat him down, I had him up already 6 rounds to 1. I mean, I had him up 5 rounds to 1. He sat him down in the 7th round, and when he sat him down in the 7th round, it was over. I mean, Colbert needed a knockout to win that fight. From that point on, he needed a knockout to win the fight. And from what I seen, it was like the man took his heart. All he did was kept putting up the high guard and going into the corner, but he was calling the man into the corner like he was doing something. Usually, when you call a man into the corner, is to set him up. You swing him back. He wasn't swinging back, and then the last 2 rounds, the man was running around the ring like he had already won the fight. It got so frustrating for Garcia that Garcia in the 11th round, he stood in the middle of the ring, was like, "Man, come on and fight. You running, just come on and fight." So I'm like, you doing all this talking and you going back and forth with Shakur, talking about Shakur know your bodies and all that. I mean, you only got 6 bodies. You only got 6 knockouts. So what? I mean, what power do you have? You get behind it in a fight, especially like that fight. I mean, I could tell that the man already had your heart. So you already was running from him. He had your heart. So how would you expect him to knock him out? You don't have no power. So you needed a knockout at that point. When the man dropped you, you needed a knockout. I don't know what your corner was telling you, because I didn't have the volume up. I was listening to BFTV call the fight. I turned the volume down on my TV, but I don't know what your corner was telling you, but I mean they should have been telling you was behind from round, basically from round 4 on. They should have been telling you behind because you wasn't doing anything to win the fight. Like I said, I gave him one round. I think I gave him the 3rd round, and then after that, I didn't see him doing anything. I just saw him kept going in the high guard, sitting in the corner or laying on the ropes. The man was just beating you, and you supposed to be the faster, quicker guy in the center of the ring, and you get in the center of the ring, and you just in the high guard, just letting the man well on you. So I'm like, yeah, I don't see how you expect to beat Gary Russell like that. Because if that was Gary Russell, Gary Russell would have got you out of there. He would have got you out of there. He would have made the ref stop the fight. Because you sitting in the corner like that, Gary Russell would have made the referee stop the fight. So I don't know what's next for him. He said he wanted to run the fight back, but for what point? What point is it? Me personally, if I was in Hector's camp, in Garcia's camp, if I was in his camp, I wouldn't tell him to run it back. This is your opportunity to get a shot at the title. Why give that man another chance to beat you? You clearly won the fight. It was no question about it. He clearly won the fight. This is your opportunity to fight for a title. You don't know if you're going to get another opportunity to fight for a title. Go take that opportunity to fight for the title. You give him a rematch after you get your title shot. If you still want a rematch, if you win the title shot and you want to give him a rematch then go ahead and give him a rematch then. But get your shot at the title. Don't go into no immediate rematch with that man. I mean, you giving him another opportunity to beat you. He was the one that was being cocky, said he didn't need to see video on you. He would make his adjustment in the 2nd round. What's going on, Kwee? Appreciate you coming through. He was the one that was being cocky, someone he didn't need to see no video on you. He'll make his adjustments in the 2nd round. So there's no reason why you need to give him an immediate rematch. Get your shot at the title, and then after that, whether you win or you lose, if you want to give him a rematch, then you give him a rematch. But don't dwindle your opportunity to satisfy his needs. You did what you're supposed to come to do. He didn't do what he was supposed to come to do. So that's on him. You don't owe him a rematch at all. There was no rematch clause in the contract for y'all to fight, so you don't owe him a rematch. But yeah, let me see what a couple of y'all saying. Han said, I wanted to see Chris Colbert. I still want to see Chris Colbert fight Gary Russell Jr. after hearing. Yeah, I still want to see him fight Gary Russell. I still want to see him fight. I just wish it was something on the line when he fought him, because Gary Russell would have took it from him. He would have not only would he took his heart, but he would have took his belt as well. But I still want to see him fight because Gary Russell owe him my ass whooping. He want to talk shit, he owe him my ass whooping. Because like I said, you ain't beating Gary. Not with that performance that I seen. There might have been a chance if you would have showed some skills in there or whatever, but that performance that we see, I don't see you have a chance with Gary Russell. Han said, technically, they both coming off a loss. Chris Colbert makes sense. Yeah, they both coming off a loss, but I mean, how big of a loss is Gary Russell's loss, really? Because me personally, I still don't see that he lost. At the worst case scenario, I think it was a draw. I don't see it as a loss. I see it as a draw. But the judges judge what they do. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. They made their decision, so it is what it is. But I still wish it was for it was for a belt or for a shot at the title with them fighting. So I mean, that would have been great for me, and that would have been great for Gary Russell as well. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, whatever. But like I said, you're doing us talking. I mean, right now at 130, you pretty much food to anybody in that weight class right now. All of the top guys in that weight class. Kwee said Colbert needs to sit down for a minute in the corner and get himself together because all that shit talking versus his actions ain't matching up. Right. Yeah. Anybody at 130, I don't see none of the top guys at 130 losing to Chris Colbert right now. Shakur Stevenson will stop that man. Even at this point, I think Oscar Valdez will stop Colbert. If he don't stop him, he definitely going to beat him. But I think Oscar Valdez will stop him. Because if he do that type of performance against Oscar Valdez or Chris Colbert or well, Tank Davis is still at 132. Technically, Tank Davis is still at 132. All of those guys is stopping him. And then if Gary Russell move up to 130 and fight him, Gary Russell is stopping him. All of those guys got enough tools to stop him. Gary Russell don't have a lot of knockouts for the fights that he have, but he does have power to stop Chris Colbert. He got more power than Chris Colbert got. And not only will he not only does he have the power, but he will be constantly beating on Chris Colbert to where the referee will step in and stop that fight. So, like I said, I don't see him beating nobody in the top of the 130 weight class. I don't see it. I mean, maybe y'all see something different than what I see, but I don't see him beating none of those guys. Oscar Valdez, Navarrete, none of them. I don't see him beating none of them. That man didn't show me no heart. All this talking, he was sitting there clowning T.O. and all that. He was sitting there talking about how Rolly Ramirez is going to get stopped by Tank Davis. Actually, technically, I mean, that's the level that you on right now. You on the same level as Rolly Ramirez. Because you didn't show me anything. At least Rolly would go in there and swing it out. You ain't show me anything. You just sat there and covered up in the corner. Well, I mean, as much as we clown Rolly Ramirez, I mean, he still got heart. That man would sit there and swing with you. Now he might get stopped fighting Tank Davis, but he ain't scared to throw his hands. From what I've seen so far, the fight that he got beat up in, he was still throwing his hands. Colbert, Rolly, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I see him on the same level as Rolly Ramirez. And the only reason why Rolly Ramirez is being clowned for real because he hasn't fought nobody, and his talent is, I mean, his style is just garbage. He needs somebody to show him how to throw his punches or put combinations together or something. So, I mean, that's the main reason why we clown Rolly, to be honest with you. Because Rolly hasn't fought nobody for us to say, okay, he's good or bad. I mean, his talent, I mean, he got power, he got speed. Pretty much the same thing that Ryan Garcia got, but he ain't did shit. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. What's going on, Ash? Appreciate you coming through. So, like I said, I don't see that man doing anything. I don't know what's his next move. He's trying to get a rematch, but I don't think he's. Me personally, if I was like I said, if I was in Garcia's camp, I would not be trying to give that man a rematch right now. He can get a rematch after we get our shot at the title. Then he can get a rematch. Hans said, "Can you imagine a PBC face-to-face with Colbert versus Gary Russell? Legendary." I mean, I could imagine seeing it. I mean, that, like I said, I don't see how long. I don't see that fight lasting long. I truly don't see that fight lasting long at all. I see that fight maybe going 6-7 rounds, and then I see Chris Colbert getting stopped. Like I said, I see him getting stopped. He sit in the corner like that with Gary Russell. Gary Russell gonna make the referee step in and stop it because he's just gonna be 10 off. You got to realize this: the man that he fought he was in there on a short week's notice. I mean, a short notice. I think he only had like 2 weeks notice. And just imagine if Garcia had a whole training camp to train for Chris Colbert. He would have stopped Chris Colbert after he dropped Chris Colbert, and he hurt Chris Colbert multiple times in that fight. He would have stopped him. He just ain't have enough training on him. He only had a 2-week notice, or less than 2 weeks. I can't remember how long they said it was, but it was roughly around 2 weeks notice. So, like I said, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't see him beating nobody at the top of the 130 weight class. So, I mean, it is what it is. That man, he gotta go back to the drawing board and start all over again, or shut his mouth and just train. Stop trying to be a superstar before you a superstar. All this stuff, black people don't support me and this and this and that. I wonder why. With that performance, I wouldn't want to support you, regardless if you was black, white, Asian, Mexican. I'm not supporting you, regardless of what your race is. I don't support nobody to just sit there and cover up like that and don't throw no punches back. You ain't do nothing to gain my support. You, all you did was sit there and just talk shit the whole time before the fight, and then you go in there and lay an egg like that. You got. I mean, I could see if you was in there throwing punches back and going blow for blow with the guy, and he beat you. He outlanded you in every category. In every category, it wasn't even close. Which brings me to my next topic. Is it lost steam? In my opinion, or can't hang no more. Yeah, yeah. That fight lost steam with him losing like the way he did. Is no longer a fight that, I mean, people want to see it, but it's not as enticing as it would have been if he would have won that fight. Now people are okay. I don't think he can hang with Gary. After that, I don't think he can hang with Gary. That's how I'm looking at it. He might had a chance before we saw that fight. Well, after we seen that fight, he had to sub from this channel as well. Oh, okay. I appreciate it, Ash. I appreciate it. But yeah, he said, yeah, after we seen that fight, um, I mean, I don't see him hanging with him. What's going on, PGH? Appreciate you coming through, man. But yeah, so that leads me to my next topic, which was the Josh Taylor and Cataract fight. Now, Josh Taylor showed me two things in that fight. He showed me how dirty he really is, and he showed me that this man is starting to look like all the rest of these people, because the whole time after that fight was over, which I didn't see him winning that fight. I don't know what the judges was looking at. That man did not win that fight at all. I mean, it was a close fight, but it wasn't in Josh Taylor's favor. I had the other guy, Cataract, winning at least 2 or 3 rounds over Josh Taylor. Um, he dropped Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor had a point deducted from him. He should have had multiple points deducted from him over all the rabbit punching and hitting in the back right there in front of the referee, and the referee wasn't saying anything about it. They gave him a point for hitting the man in the stomach after the bell when they was walking back to their corners. What's going on, Drew Titan? Appreciate you coming through. What's going on, Bruce Golds? Appreciate you. But yeah, they gave him a point after he hit him in the stomach. I mean, it wasn't even a real punch, to be honest with you. I could have seen it as like a little tap, like good job or whatever for that round. Me personally, if I was the referee, I wouldn't have gave him a point for that. I would have gave him a point for all the other stuff that he was doing. I'd have took a point from him for that, because he was rabbit punching, hitting him in the back, putting him in headlocks and all that. I'm like, come on, man. I mean, it's one thing to grab and hold, and you might hit him behind the head once or twice, or whatever. But he hit the man behind the head at least 3 or 4 times each round. At least 3 or 4 times each round. And the referee just kept warning him. The first time Cataract did something, the referee took a daggone warning. I mean, took a point from him. I'm like, okay, you take a point from him, but you just keep warning Josh Taylor. You haven't taken a point for him hitting behind the head not one time, and you didn't warn him like 3 or 4 times already. So, I mean, but all of a sudden, before the fight, he was calling out Tank Davis. Talking about he wanted to smoke with Tank Davis. After the fight, when he knows that he lost that fight, everybody else knows that he lost that fight. Now all of a sudden he can't make that weight no more. He was having a hard time to make that weight. We ain't hear nothing about you having a hard time making the weight before the fight. Now all of a sudden you having a hard time to make the weight now after the fight is over with, because it was a closer fight than what you expected to be. You thought you were just gonna go in there and walk through the guy, and Cataract put you to the test and dropped you. So now all of a sudden it's hard for you to make the weight. Nah, you know damn well if Tank was in there, Tank would have took your ass out. And you know you got another monster on the way up in that division. What's going on, Keon? Appreciate you coming through. You know you got another monster working his way up in that division. So now all of a sudden it's hard for you to make that weight. But like I said, it was no talk of you struggling to make that weight before that fight happened. You calling out Bud Crawford, you calling out Tank Davis, you telling T.O. this and that or whatever. Now all of a sudden the fight is over and everybody know that you lost that fight. Now all of a sudden it's hard for you to make the weight because you got these other guys that's gunning for you right now, and you thought you was going to run through Cataract and that was going to be an easy win or whatever. They Cataract exposed you. I mean, you was already exposed against Regis Prograis, but now somebody with a lesser caliber of talent exposed you even more. Now all of a sudden you can't make that weight. It's hard for you to make that weight. Nah, you got some guys that's more talented than Cataract that's gunning for you right now, and you ain't trying to fight those guys. That's why it's hard for you to make that weight. Tank Davis was sure enough put you on your ass and stop you. From what I seen from you against him, and I said it before he even fought Cataract. I said Tank Davis has a chance of beating Josh Taylor. Only thing I said was because Josh Taylor was 140 and Tank is coming up from 135, but Tank already beat somebody at 140, which is Mario Barrio. And Mario Barrio was a big 140. And Tank Davis stopped him. But I said Tank Davis can possibly beat Josh Taylor because Josh Taylor gets hit too much. And he kept getting hit with the straight left the whole fight. He kept getting hit with the straight left the whole fight. If that was Tank Davis, your ass is going to sleep. Round 6, you will be going to sleep. So, and like I said, you got another guy that's gunning for you, that's moving up in the weight class, and he just did something that you couldn't do and that Bud Crawford couldn't do. And that's goes by the name of Gary Antoine Russell. That man just stopped Victor Prostyle. Whether it was a early stoppage or whatever, I mean, I wish it would have went a little bit longer because I think Antoine was going to put that man to sleep. He had already rocked him in the middle of the ring. They went back to the ropes. He caught him a couple of more times, and he was moving in for the kill, and the referee stopped in and stopped it. And so a lot of people saying it was a premature stoppage or whatever. The man was hurt. I understood looking at it at real time. I understood why the referee stopped it. He didn't want no more damage to go towards the guy or whatever. And the referee might have lost track of how much time was left in the round, because I believe it was like 30 seconds or something like that left in the round. The referee might have lost track of how much time left or whatever. But looking at it in real time, I could understand why the referee stopped it. But I wish he would have let it go because I wanted to be a decisive knockout where nobody could have denied Antoine for doing what he did. He knocked the man out. There's something that nobody else did. People talking about, but the guy was 38 years old. It doesn't matter how old he was. He hasn't been stopped before. Nobody's ever stopped him before. So whether he was 38 years old or not, I believe. Bud fought him, and like I said, Josh Taylor fought him. Neither one of them stopped him. Nobody stopped him. The man got I think he got 3 losses. I think he had 3 losses. And in those losses, he hasn't been stopped. So, but Antoine is the next man moving up in that division. And I heard somebody say that I think it was Drew Titan said it this morning. Antoine needed to start getting the love that Boots is getting. Yeah, it was Drew Titan. He said it this morning. And he said he was going to do a show about Antoine tomorrow. And I was sitting there listening. I was like, damn, that's the same show I'm doing today. But yeah, he's like, Antoine needed to start getting the love that Boots is getting. Yeah, it's time. That man going next. It's time for that. What's going on, T?
What's good?
That man is showing y'all he got next. Y'all gonna either lay down or get put down because that man's coming for everybody in that weight class. So I wanna see who they're gonna put in the ring next with. I heard that he had called out Devin Haney again. I want to see that fight, but be honest with you, I mean that's my family and all. But be honest with you, I don't want to see that fight right away. I want that fight to mean something when they face each other because both of those guys is talented. I like both of those fighters. I want Devin Haney to get a title shot, and if he get a title, and if Antoine get a title shot, he get a title. Now you got 2 guys fighting to unify. Or if Antoine don't get a title shot and Devin Haney has a title, they fight. Antoine is fighting for a title. Either way, I'd rather both of them have a title and they fighting to unify. I prefer them to fight to unify. It means more than them just knocking each other off.
Knocking each other out. Yeah, I'm glad
right. It means more instead of them just knocking each other off. Because, like I said, I like both of their styles, their fighting styles. Of course, like I said, I rock with Antoine a little harder than I rock with Devin, but I still like Devin. It's not. I take nothing from Devin. Devin is a great fighter. He's been proven through all the fights that he didn't had. And people say, oh, he got rocked against Linares. Yeah, he got rocked, but he didn't get dropped. Lomachenko got dropped by him. He got rocked. He didn't get dropped. So whether he got rocked or not, I mean, it's fighting. And I said this plenty of times. You don't have to be the hardest hitter. I mean, the hardest puncher to rock somebody. You just got to catch him at the right spot. You can be somebody like Sugarfoot, and you can rock somebody if you hit him in the right spot. That's all it is. It's not about how hard he hit or whatever. He got more knockouts than a lot of guys. He got more knockouts than daggone Victor Prostov. And Victor Prostov never been knocked out until he fought Antoine. He been in there with Bud Crawford. He's been in there with Josh Taylor. Neither one of them knocked him out. And like I said, he got more knockouts than Victor Prostov. So, T said, do you think this war will put Loma off the table for Kambosos? Don't know. Don't really care. I don't care about Loma and Kambosos fighting. I want to be Devin and Kambosos. So if that war do puts him off the table, good. Then he can fight Devin. What's going on, Casey Boy?
That is bad.
But yeah. So I like I said, Gary Antoine deserved to be. We need to start putting some shine on his name. I mean, I'm gonna put shine on his name regardless, but we need to start the same way we do with Boots. We need to start doing the same thing with Gary Antoine.
As a community.
Yep.
As a community.
Because, I mean, for the ones who don't know, he beat Antoine he beat Boots 3 times in the amateurs. They fought 4 times. He beat him 3 times. And a lot of people say the amateurs don't mean anything. No, it don't mean anything as far as your pro record. But truth be told, Boots was fighting the same way he fought. And he was fighting the same way the amateurs. He couldn't do that with Antoine. Antoine didn't give him an opportunity to do that.
Dwayne, one loss, maybe 2 losses don't matter in the amateurs, right? But when you get to beating the guy 3 times, 3 out of 4 times, and shit like that,
Yeah,
that
makes a
matters.
difference. Yeah,
That
that makes a difference. Yeah, but like I said, Boost hasn't changed his style of fighting from where he fought in the amateurs to where he fought in the pro. He's been fighting that the whole time. That's how he fights. But when he fought Antoine, he couldn't do that because Antoine ain't give him a chance to fight like that. Antoine was in his chest the whole entire fight. That's the way Antoine fights. He's going to be in your chest and he's going to make sure you know he's right there. He's not going to give you a chance to breathe. What's going on, Geo James? What's going on, Mr. Finesse? Kia Space Dog, what's going on? But yeah, so I mean, like I said, the same way we give Boost the praise that we give him, we need to start doing the same thing for Gary Antoine. This man, he didn't prove himself. This man got 15 fights, 15 knockouts. This man is knocking out everybody they put him in the ring with. He's showing y'all he's the goods. This man is the goods. I don't see nobody at 140. To be honest with you, I don't see nobody at 140 beating him. This man gonna be a problem for anybody at 140. Now I see somebody that's gonna push him to the limit. I see some people at 140 that push him to the limits, but I don't see nobody at 140. I say, okay, yeah, he'll beat Antoine. I don't see nobody at 140 like that. That I could just say, oh yeah, Antoine ain't gonna be able to beat him. I don't see nobody at 140. Jose Ramirez, he don't move his head enough. He comes straight forward. He's tailor-made for Antoine. Antoine to take him out. Regis Prograis, he got power, but he don't have great defense neither. That was the reason why he lost to Josh Taylor. He got power, but he don't have good defense. What's going on, Just Do? What's going on, Teach? I mean, like I said, is a lot of good fighters at 140, but I don't see nobody that I could say, oh yeah, they're gonna beat Antoine. Nah. Like I said, Antoine has a boxing style that y'all haven't seen. He said Zapata is a good fight. Yeah, it's a good fight, but I mean, actually, that's actually going backwards. If he was to fight Zapata, that would be going backwards. Zapata about to fight. He's about to fight Pedraga, I think. I think Zapata's about to fight Pedraga.
Nah, Ramirez and Pedraga.
Oh, yeah. Pedraga and Ramirez is about to fight. Who is Zapata about to fight?
He was talking about he isn't talked to fight somebody though. I can't remember right now.
I can't remember who it is, but
he's
about to fight somebody. But that wouldn't be a move forward. See, if Antoine can't get a title shot right now, because I believe Josh Taylor is going to drop those belts and going to move up to 147. If he can't get a title shot right now, he still need to fight somebody that's in the top 5. He need to fight somebody in the top 5. He don't need to fight nobody because, matter of fact, Victor Proskauer was number 5. So the next fights he need to be above Victor Proskauer. It don't need to be below Victor Proskauer.
I ain't know Proskauer was 5.
He was number 5 at 140. He was number 5.
Oh, yeah, so Gary Antoine got a top 5 win.
Yeah, so he got a top 5 fight already. So he needs to fight other fights that's above the top. That's above number 5. He don't need to be going backwards. That's why I said I don't know about Zapata. It would be a good fight, but I don't know if I will put Antoine in there with Zapata. I wanted him to build his record, not take a step back. He said Russell is the best, but Boots is a lot bigger now. Boots was a damn teenager. Y'all do realize that Boots and Antoine are the same age. So when you saying Boots was a teenager, Antoine was a teenager.
He said Love will be good. Love versus Love versus Antoine will be decent, but if Love got to increase his output just a little bit. If he increases output a little bit against Antoine, then that'll be a banger. But if you don't, then Antoine probably just go piece him up all night.
You also gotta remember, Love is undisciplined. He's keep coming in the fight overweight. You can't be undisciplined going in there with Antoine because Antoine gonna put you to the test. He's gonna drain every energy that you got in your body. He's gonna test you the whole fight. So you can't be coming in overweight and undisciplined. You coming in overweight, that means you ain't been training. You ain't been training hard like you're supposed to. You coming in there overweight. You're gonna have a stamina problem towards the end of that fight. So these Russells, they live, breathe boxing. That's all they do. They go to the gym every single day, 5 days a week. They in the gym, training, staying in shape every day of the week. Now they might not be in boxing shape, but they in shape. Trust me, they might be a couple of pounds off from what their weight class is, and then within a week or so, they back on weight. They always in the gym, always. He said Montana Love is still going backwards. Yeah, I mean technically, yeah, Montana Love is still going backwards because I don't think Montana is in the top 5 in at 140. I think he got he did that fight that he had, the last fight that he had, wasn't that for interim belt?
Against Belichick, yeah, for the WBO interim.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He had a WBO interim belt. So he might be in the top 4. He might be in the top 4 because he's the mandatory for the WBO.
That's why Eddie Hearn signed him.
Yeah, he's the mandatory for the WBO, so he might be in the top 4. So that might not be a step back. So he might be in the top 4.
You mean Belichick fought for some kind of
he said divine sense made good sense with Russell. He's not even in the top 15 in any of the bodies. He should be at least top 10 of all of them. Yeah, he definitely should be in the top 10 of all of them. He should have been in the top 10 of all of them. Now, if he's not in the top 10 of all of them right now, after he just beat the number 5 guy at 140, then something is wrong. That's why I said we need to start talking about Antoine, because these people is not giving him the respect that he deserves, because he's supposed to have been in the top 10.
Or is it the bigger problem?
What's going on, Pop? What's going on, Pop?
The bigger problem is you got to pay these motherfuckers to get ranked. It look like it ain't about just earning your spot no more. It kind of feel like it's about who cutting them the big shit. Because I just seen guys jump from 13 to motherfucking number 3 that I never heard of. And Gary Antoine just got a top 5 win, so he got to be in the top 5.
Yeah. T Pop said his father needs your number. But he said PDH said Antoine Russell impressed me with his stamina and his power lasting all 10 rounds. PBC got to push the Russell more. Yeah, they got to push him. That's the thing. They got talent in their camp. I mean, in their brand, and they're not pushing it. They need to push that. They need to push Antoine the same way they should have been pushing Mr. Gary Russell. Is the way they need to start pushing Antoine, because Mr. Gary Russell is towards the end of his career. He's 33, 34. So he's towards the end of his career. So they need to start pushing Antoine. Antoine is 25. They need to start pushing Antoine, because Antoine is coming into his prime right now. That man, what's going on, Andrew 100? That man needs to be a star. I say within the next couple of years, this man needs to be fighting for a title. If he don't get a title shot by the end of, he need to have at least another fight by the end of this year, if not 2 more. You need to have at least another fight by the end of this year, and by the beginning of next year, he should be in the range of fighting for a title shot. Because that, like I said, that man got next. That man is right there. He's right there, and I guarantee you, it's not a whole lot of 140 pounders that's going to beat him. There's not a whole lot of 140 pounders that's going to want to step in the ring with him.
Agreed.
So I mean, they need to start pushing him, because they got a star at 140. They haven't had a star at 140 in a while. They got one now. Because actually, if you think about it, The last couple of guys that was the top of the 140-pound division was with Top Rank.
Yeah, Top Rank got 140 on lock.
That's
They've
what I'm
had
saying. So they got a guy at 140 right now. You need to push that man. You don't have nobody else at 140 that you can push like you can with Antoine. That's the guy that y'all need to be pushing. So y'all can have 140 on lock with Antoine, and y'all can have 147 on lock with EJ, and you got 154 on lock with Brian Castano and Jamel Charlo. They need to push that man. PGA said, yeah, PBC is putting money behind Antoine. They need to put money behind him. I don't know if they are putting money, but if they not, they need to, because that man is definitely the goods. I mean, like I said, he was in there with a veteran. That man is a veteran and never been put down, and he got stopped coming off a loss. Should T.O. have been ranked high, he's like top 5, right? T.O. ain't no top 5 in no, not in no 140. He ain't top 5. No, T.O. not. I don't. Am I wrong? T, do you see T.O. ranked at the top 40? I mean, top 5 in the 140-pound division. I'm about to look it up right now. I don't think T.O.'s ranked top 5. Let me look it up. Hold on one second. Give me a second. But yeah, like I said, they need to push that guy, because that man definitely got next. Do you see T.O. as a top 5 at 140?
Yeah.
Let me put this shit on mute.
Yeah, I see.
He on the phone. I'm gonna put this shit on mute. But oh damn, the zone. I don't know if T.O.'s top 5. I haven't seen nobody at 140 would beat Antoine, not even Josh Taylor. Devin Haney would think twice about facing Antoine. He has more speed and power, and more athletic. Devin only beat him in jab and footwork. Uh, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that, because Devin is an excellent boxer. I'm not gonna say that. Now, what I will say is, right now, I don't think he said, yeah, he can't be number 5 if Victor Prostyle was number 5. T.O. couldn't be ranked number 5 if Victor Prostyle was number 5. Unless they change the ranking after Victor Prostyle lost. But I wouldn't say so much. Now, what I will say is, far as power, he definitely got the power over Devin Haney. Their speed and athletic ability, I say, is probably about the same. It's probably about the same. I would say they're probably about the same. Devin Haney, he's an excellent boxer. So I don't see Devin. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if Devin don't want to face him. So I can't say that Devin would think twice about facing, but I don't see that in Devin's I don't see that in his daggone what word am I looking for? His y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't see Devin I don't see Devin ducking Antoine. I think Devin will fight Antoine. No, you good. I think Devin would fight Antoine. But like I said, I don't want to see Devin and Antoine fighting unless it it's something on the line because Victor Prostar, he dropped down to number 8 because he lost that fight to Antoine. He was number 5 when he fought Antoine. He was number 5. He dropped down to number 8. So they got T.O. ranked number 5. I don't see why T.O. would be ranked number 5. He didn't do nothing at 140. I can name
T.O. ranked number 140.
They said he got him ranked number 5. He's number 5 at the WBC, number 3 in the WBO. I don't know what the IBF and the WBA have him as, but I can name 5 fighters that's better than T.O. at 140.
Yeah, that's wild.
So I don't see why they would have him ranked at number 5 at 140. He hasn't even fought at 140 yet. Technically, he's still a 135-pound fighter right now. You're not a 140-pound fighter until he fights at 140.
Yeah.
Right now, he's still technically a 135-pound fighter, even though he said he's moving up to 140. He hasn't fought at 140 yet. He said Antoine not ranked in the top 15. That's what we were saying earlier. He's not even ranked in the top 15. He need to be at least ranked in the top 10. He should be ranked in the top 10 right now. He just got finished beating.
So they got T.O. So they got T.O. Howard and Antoine. And
Antoine is undefeated and knocked out everybody he faced at 140. He's been at 140 his whole career, and he's knocked out everybody at 140 that he faced.
And now got a top 5 win.
Huh?
I said, and now Gary Antoine got a top 5 win.
Yeah, he just beat a top 5 fighter, and they don't even have him in the top 15.
Yeah.
He said, I guess it's because he's a former unified that's moving up.
Right.
Yeah, he's a former unified. He lost. So that means when you lose, you drop. You're not going to go from a weight class that you just lost in and move up into another weight class and automatically jump at the number 5.
Right.
You in a lower weight class, you just lost. So that drops you in that weight class. You're going to go to a higher weight class and go into the top 5? No, it don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, I can see him being in the top 10 if y'all want to put him in the top 10, but not the top 5. I don't see him being in the top 5. It don't make sense. That's crazy to me. And you lost to a person that was not ranked in the daggone division. I mean, in the weight class. Kambosos was not ranked
at all.
He was the mandatory, but he wasn't ranked in the top. He was not ranked in the top 10 in the daggone division. He's not one of the top 10 fighters. And he lost to him. He said T.O. is still ranked at 135 at number 5. Right. So he's ranked at number 5 at a lower weight class.
Yeah, Pop said what's up to Dwayne.
You're going to put him number 5 at a higher weight class? No, that doesn't make sense.
Pop said what's up, Dwayne.
What's going on, Pop? Appreciate you. Q&A said Ramirez, Hunter, Omar Aguilera, Prograis, all better than T.O. Yeah. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and Antoine. And Montana Love.
Right.
So I don't see him beating none of those guys. And I mean, he might have a problem fighting Matissa. He might have a problem with him. Oh yeah, I know it's you, Quick. I mean, I'm sorry, I know it's you, Ashley. But yeah, he might have a problem with Matissa. So I don't see him. If he's ranked number 5 at the 135, how the hell is he ranked number 5 at 140? He's never even fought at 140.
Right. Yeah, that's some bullshit. T.O. ranked in top 5 though. I ain't gonna lie. Top 10, like you said, top 10, understandable. He a former champion. So yeah, top 10, cool, but top 5, it sound like look
Yeah,
position.
that's what I was saying. Ashley Matissa. That's what I say. I don't know if T.O. can beat him. The only thing I can say is Matissa's defense is not that good, so T.O. might be able to hit him and hurt him a couple of times because his defense is not that good. But Matissa got power though. He might be able to. He might hurt T.O. as well. So, like I said, they say he's number 5 and number 6 at 135. How is he number 5 and number 6 at 135? Oh, you talking about the different? You talking about the different? He talking about the different sanctioning bodies. He talking about the sanctioning belts. No, we talking about far as the top of the division. You have a ranking for the division, not the sanctioning belts. The sanctioning belts is different. We talking about the top of the. You have a ranking for the division. You have a top 10 for the division, and then every sanctioning belt has their own ranking. How they want to rank the fighters. That's different. Those are two different types of rankings. So you could be ranked number 1 in the WBC, but when it comes to the ranking of that division, you might be ranked number 6, but you're ranked number 1 in the WBC because you worked your way up the WBC ranking system. There's two different type of ranking systems. But yeah, so yeah, I like I said, Antoine just he needs to get more respect put on his name because the man he's like I said he's fighting everybody they put him in the ring with and he's knocking them out. So what that tells me is they need to put him in there with more tougher opponents because the ones that they putting him in there with he's knocking their asses out, and I don't think he's going to be 100% knockout ratio for the duration of his career because I mean, besides Deontay Wilder, I ain't seen nobody knocked out every single person that they fought. Deontay Wilder is the only person I've seen knock out every single person that he fought, including Tyson Fury, because he knocked his ass out too. They just didn't call it.
Right. True that.
So, but yes, I don't. I mean, I ain't saying he can't. I'm just saying that me knowing boxing, I don't think he's going to knock out every single person that he fight. But he could prove me wrong. I would love for him to prove me wrong and knock out every single person he fight. Go undefeated and knock out every single person. I would love to see it. I just don't think it's going to happen. The realistic of that happening, the chances of that happening is like slim to none that he's going to knock out every single person that he fight. But that, like I said, that just means he need to be in there with tougher competition. And the only way for him to be in there with tougher competition is give him more of these guys that's ranked in the top 10. Not only would that shows y'all he needs to be ranked in the top 10, but it shows you he needs to be getting a title shot soon because he's beating all of these guys. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't.
Josh Taylor about to come up off. Josh Taylor about to come off the belts. He about
to. Those belts going to disperse.
He go get in line. Yeah, get back.
Yeah, he
gonna get one right off the bat. If I don't get one right off the bat, I ain't gonna be able to tiptoe around them too long.
That's what I said. Because I don't think Josh Taylor's going to fight Bud Crawford this year. I don't think he's going to fight.
I don't think he go fight no more. D Free.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna fight Bud Crawford this year. He might fight Bud Crawford next year if Bud still have the belt. He might be fighting Earl Spence if they make that fight, and Earl Spence beat Bud. So he's not going to be fighting at 147 for one of those belts until I say probably next year, because he is undisputed. So he has the right to pick whatever belt he want to fight for. So I see him fighting one of those champions probably next year sometime or whatever. So that means, like I said, Antoine should be in position to fight somebody for a vacant belt come early next year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Teach. After Josh dropped those titles, yeah, he need to be in position to fight for one of those vacant belts. So I mean, like I said, they gotta push this man. Like I said, this man he got all the talent in the world. And he said, okay, T.O.'s not in the top 10. That's what I thought. I was like, there's no way in the world T.O. could be in the top 10, and he hasn't had a fight at 140 yet. There's no way in the world he could be in the top 10.
Okay.
What's going on, Lloyd to the game? Appreciate you coming through. But yeah, that's what like. It's no way in the world he could be in the top 10. He hasn't fought nobody at 140. How y'all putting him in top 10 in the top 10? Now, like I said, the sanctioning bodies is different. That's not the same as the ranking for the division. But yeah, if you look at the rankings for the division, Victor Prostyle was ranked number 5. He was number 5 at 140, and Antoine just beat him, just stopped him. So Antoine need to be moved higher in that ranking system, far as the 140 pounder. Teach said when the belt are dropped, how do the bodies disperse? What side of the streets the belt goes to? Like I don't expect all of those to stay at top rank. No, what the way it should go, it should be the 1 and 2 fight for the vacant belts. Whoever's number 1 in that sanctioning body, the 1 and 2 of each sanctioning body should fight for that belt. Now, if you 1 and 2 in multiple categories, then it will move down to the 3 and 4 or the 2 and 3. It just moved its way down to the next belt. Like say Jose Ramirez and Montana Love is ranked number 1 and number 2 in the WBO, but they also rank 1 and 2 in the WBC. Then if they fighting for the WBO, then the WBC, it will move down to the 3 and the 4. That's how it should go. I don't know how it's going to go. That's how it should go. Because people pay a little bit of money, then that's what it is. He said top 10, Taylor, Prograis, Zepeda, Ramirez, Pastrana, Eastern.
Okay.
Barboza, Poster,
Barrios.
Barrios shouldn't even be in there. He fought at 147 in Catterall. I didn't know Zepeda was number 3.
So Catterall is in front of Postal and Barrios right now. Pedraza
and Eastern Junior should be dropping too because he just
he probably gonna be out for a minute.
Yeah, he's gonna be out for a while, so he should be dropping too.
But Pedraza and Ramirez about to fight this weekend. So
yeah, Catterall and T.O. about to fight Barbosa.
Yep. Yeah, so it's gonna be some shaking and moving.
Yeah, so if Pedraza, if Zepeda is number 3, then yeah, that should be Antoine's next fight. Zepeda, he's number 3. If that's number 3, then yeah, that should be his next fight. I would love to see him fight Zepeda. I think he'll knock Zepeda out too. Now Zepeda is a tough fight. It's a tougher fight. I believe is a little bit tougher than Victor Prostyle because Zepeda he got a little bit more. He got a little bit better defense, and he moves a little bit more than Postyle did. But I think he'll eventually end up getting knocked out too. I think he'll eventually end up getting knocked out as well. But yeah, I would love to see him fight Zepeda number 3. I didn't know Zepeda was ranked that high. I thought Zepeda was ranked lower than that. I thought Zepeda was
Zepeda got 2 nice wins. He got the Verdejo win, and he got the what's the young boy prospect he just knocked out. But he got 2 upset wins his last 2 fights. Him and Verdejo damn near had the fight of the year, and he knocked out the prospect. I forgot his name, the Puerto Rican guy. He knocked him out. He coming off 2 good wins, so I knew he was in the mix. But I forgot to do the name.
He said, T said, don't Zepeda have the intern WBC? I don't know. I haven't been watching Zepeda fight his last couple of fights. I haven't been watching. I don't know. He could very well have the intern WBC fight title. So I don't know. But I'm about to get ready to get up out of here. T, you still on?
Nah.
Okay.
I went down when you came out.
Everything boxing and sports. Keon, he's coming on now. So y'all go over there and check out Keon. Make sure y'all subscribe to Q&A with Ashley and Queequeg. Subscribe to my boy Southern T if you're not subscribed to him. Subscribe Loyal to the Game. Who else I got out here? My man Ricky Williams. My man G5. Subscribe to all these people that I rock with, man. Y'all subscribe to them. You're gonna get a lot of great content from them or whatever. And of course, subscribe to my OG Bruce Goes and Connor Loco and Drew Titan. Subscribe to all these brothers. Like I said, you're gonna get great content when you go over there to their channel if you're not subscribed to them. But make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed to my channel. But I believe most of y'all are. And I'll be back on here tomorrow. I appreciate everybody for coming through. It's your boy, Boxing Matchups. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.